did you say?
I don't think that was that funny. The ticket ripper bit.
So I've got an idea for a video, an idea for a little anecdotal story. And you, now, how many videos have you made exactly on YouTube? Roughly, how many have you made?
Give or take.
Give or take, yeah.
None.
None. How many have I made? Give or take.
I don't know. 4 or 5.
For 350. Now, what does that say to you?
That
I've got far too much spare time on my hands.
That you're a loser and you can't have a life.
Right, that's it. You've blown it with this hunk of love. What are you laughing at that for? Why is that funny?
It's not funny.
It's
I'm
the
not
most
laughing at
serious
that.
thing I've said all evening.
I've just seen something on the telly and it's really funny. I was laughing at that.
That's the news. That's like what's happened in Iraq and stuff.
Ah, yes. I've blown it.
The story I wanted to say, viewers, is that we went to see Inglourious Bastards earlier this evening. Don't say that, it makes it sound nasty. We got there, we got served our ticket by the guy that had clearly been trained on selling tickets. So anyway, get the popcorn, got our drinks.
Yeah.
Then I want to go. Then we go to the ticket ripper who rips the tickets.
Ticket.
Now me and Andy, we learned from our video last year that when you go to the cinema, you got the ticket ripper. You do not rip that ticket before you see the ticket ripper because that is the ticket ripper's job.
One person sells you the ticket and another person rips it. And he said, can't you get one person to sell you it and rip it? Because that would save money. And he said in one day, he ripped the ticket himself and he got to the ticket ripper. And the ticket ripper said, who ripped this? And he said, I did. And the ticket ripper said, don't rip the ticket, that's my job.
That's not even what the story's about. The point was that the ticket, we thought they'd been trained so we won't rip our tickets, so the ticket ripper ripped the ticket. Then after that...
She did.
Well, she did, I couldn't really tell, it was sex indeterminate.
She had long blonde hair.
Doesn't prove anything.
And
Hulk Hogan had long blonde hair.
And breasts and was a woman. So apart from that, indeterminate sex, yeah, apart from that.
Yeah, how do you know so much about sex? You little things. It's a joke. Right, anyway, so we went and bought some Haribo. I bought some Haribo, or fizzy sweets.
You did.
Yeah.
You did buy a lot of sweets, yeah.
And then the ticket ripper said, oh, don't worry, she'll be back in a minute.
She was literally stood 2 paces away from where you were. She's an employee
bag of fizzy sweets.
Of the cinema. She was stood 2 paces from where you were. There were no other people coming through.
Nobody, it was quiet as a Sunday afternoon.
She said, oh, the pick and mix lady will be back with you in a minute. So we stood there.
I looked at you, you looked at me, we both looked at the ticket ripper who was just stood there, la 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 la.
You think, shall we just leave it? It's not worth it. And then instead of just kind of coming over and serving.
And bear in mind, nobody was in the cinema at this point. There were no queues. Nobody was walking through the door.
Not at all. There were no tickets to be ripped, were there?
The ticket ripper did use her discretion.
She did, but she made this other woman who was over the other side of the cinema come over and serve you, while she stood there and did nothing. Yeah. So what was that all about?
I think it could be. Are we not giving the role of the ticket ripper enough credit? Could it not be?
She was the manager. You're saying she was here and she felt it was beneath her.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
To weigh, pick and mix, and take your money.
I put to you that the role of the ticket ripper is so specialised that you can only do one thing at a time. You can't expect someone to know how to rip tickets and weigh fizzy sweets and charge somebody cash. So maybe it's so specialised. If I flew jet airplanes, yeah, and then someone said, Steve, can you just
rip this ticket?
I'll probably have to do that. But if I was flying,
I can fly a plane, but no way can I rip that ticket.
No. If I was flying an airplane, I'd landed the plane, and there was a helicopter that needed to be flown. When someone said, "Can you just get in that helicopter?" I'd be saying, "I can't. I'm a fighter pilot. I can't fly a helicopter."
So you're comparing, like a combat fighter and helicopter pilot with a pick and mix server and a ticket ripper.
Anyway, thanks for showing the cinema. We really appreciate that waiting 5 minutes to have our fizzy
Can't
sweets.
name the cinema. We can never
Generic
go back
multiplex
now.
in Brislington, Bristol.
Generic multiplex, that's what you have to say. Generic multiplex that served us after 10 minutes.
If we go back there again, I'm going to rip my own ticket and say, I'll rip my ticket, that way can you weigh my sweets for me?